Welcome back everyone to another tutorial. We're getting quite close to working on developing and submitting our strategies. In fact, by the next tutorial, you'll go over a template for defining your model's logic. And once you have that down, you're able to copy paste your code here and have it ready for submission. The code that gets submitted to us is going to be run and evaluated using our own pre-specified environment. Namely, we're going to have a set of libraries that we allow along with certain library versions. And this tutorial is all about setting up a virtual environment so that you don't run into the case where your code works on your machine, but once you submit it, it doesn't work on our end. And if you've never set up a virtual environment before, just think of it as a separate container where you can install all the tools and packages for your project. And this will be completely isolated from the rest of your system. So there won't be any sort of conflicts or mismatches between one project and another. Let's dive into it. One additional note, this tutorial is broken into two separate cases. One if you're using Anaconda or want to use Anaconda, and another if you're not. If you're not using Anaconda, it's going to use a Python package called virtualenv for creating those virtual environments. But I highly recommend using Anaconda. So that is going to be the walkthrough for this video. We come down here to the Anaconda part of the tutorial, and we are going to jump right in and create our environment using this specific version of Python. Now, in fact, I already have a stacking sats environment. I'm just going to override it and create a new one for the purpose of this walkthrough. So that's what that is all about. And it's set it up with the appropriate version of Python here, 3.10. So let's proceed. And now this environment is set up. We now have to activate it. So in step 2, we come in here and we activate the environment that we just created. And as you can see, we went from the base conda environment to our newly defined stacking sats environment. But if we put in pip list here, we don't have any of the packages that we'll be using for this hypertrial challenge. So let's go ahead and set those up. Rather than pip installing them one by one, we're going to copy paste this and create a stacking sats requirement text file. So let's create a new file. It's going to be called stacking sats requirements, and let's paste in all that. And this is just in our project's working directory. So let's navigate over to that. For me, it's quite nested, so you're gonna have to bear with me. Stacking sats challenge. And then lastly, you have to come here. This is just specific to my working directory. And as you can see, we have our requirements text file here. So let's go ahead and pip install that. We are going to copy paste this and pip install all these libraries. Wait for that to finish up. Okay, and now if we take a look here, we have all the predefined libraries, such as pandas should be here. Yeah, pandas and NumPy, but also all the libraries that they use. So we're almost done, but we use Jupyter notebooks, and I'm going to assume that you're using a Jupyter notebook. So in order to use our environment within Jupyter Notebook, we're going to have to register it as a kernel. So you're going to be able to come here and pick from the appropriate kernel to use, namely the appropriate environment to use for your project. So we're just going to pip install this over here so that we can set up our kernel. You could run both these lines at once, in fact. Okay, so now we've registered our stacking sats environment with this display name. So if I go ahead and close Jupyter and launch it again, we should be able to see in our kernel the new stacking sats environment. So this is just the base environment, but now we have the stacking sats environment, and it has all the packages that we have specified. So now we are ready to go forward with the next tutorial and start working on the development of the strategy.